Hi there, it's Luke Carter, founder of Psychic One-to-One Readings. They say you should always act when inspiration strikes, and what we seek to do at Psychic One-to-One Readings, and the reason why I founded it, is because my journey in life has been definitely shaped by the amount I have connected to myself, connected to others, and spiritual guidance has been fantastically monumental in that journey. So it's all about giving back. So I guess the topic of today will be surrounding how psychic readings can help, but as a kind of a very important note as well, I thought I'd make a video on how specifically your energy relates to the world and how it can obviously influence a psychic reading. Now, just a side note before we start, skilled psychics can read whatever if you're open or you're closed, but just think how much more you'll get out of your reading when you are open. Of course, your spirit guides and your ancestors will still be gravitating towards you even if you are closed, but who wants to be closed when you can gain the best out of something? To listen to yourself, to follow what feels right, and to guide the reading down avenues you feel right, because although you can get a lot of guidance from the universe and of course from the spirit, it's very important that you understand that free will plays a massive part of that as well. So you can even change what is in your destiny, and likewise you can choose to go with things that suit you best or you're more comfortable with. The reason for this video is prompted basically, funnily enough, by a gym session. I've always find it interesting when you focus on something properly, all your cells sing in tune. Universe means uni, obviously means one, verse is song. So why wouldn't you want to sing the song you're currently focusing on? For example, I was just doing a bit of cardio work after a weight session, and there was no music on. I thought, okay, maybe my mind's starting to drift a bit, maybe think of too many things. Motivation and energy was actually tapering off a bit. Music came on, and it made me think, well, the background tune is so important in your life. You've got to pay attention to the background tune, because of course that shapes your present experience. So if you're listening to a lot of your ego and a lot of overthinking, it can definitely have a negative impact. Sometimes overthinking is just as bad as not thinking enough. Intuition is really being aware of your thoughts and being mindful on what you want and your clear intentions, but it's also being aware not to overthink. For example, you go to a psychic reading and you get told to kind of be in tune, look for the synchronicities. But they say look, but not really looking. You shouldn't be looking. You should more rather set the intention and let life flow. Because you can look too hard. For example, it's a bit of a dreary day today, walking through the local park, and one might think, oh, it's a bit grey for a video, things like this. But when you maintain your positive vibe, things do change very quickly. I think you do have to be mindful not to monitor your energy level too much, because you can get the fear factor and the what ifs. Oh, what if I'm not currently in a good state of mind? I'm going to attract bad things. But it is sensitive nonetheless, because the very next thing I saw was the brightest Dalmatian you can ever imagine, which was a fantastic thing to see, because it was such a contrast, and it definitely brightened my day. It was a very real life example how energy in the moment can be very fast moving. But you've got to also pay attention as to consistency. The universe likes to move a bit slower than that. Things take a bit of time to manifest. That's why consistency yields positive results in the long term. It might take a while to attract that dream soulmate, in which case you can basically feel fully confident waiting and having faith. It's just very important to allow that time to catch up and obviously enjoy the journey. That said, it's equally important to be aware that your smaller energies turn into your bigger energies. I think the message here is to be mindful of the energy at all times, but not overthink. And this can definitely play a part in how you approach your psychic reading and what you want to get out of it to start with. If you're setting intentions on what you really truly desire, then of course your reading is going to reflect that, and you're going to get a much more accurate guidance system. It's like you need a satellite navigation for certain things, but you have to put an address in to start with. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you are at a crossroads, and it's okay to be clear about not being clear, as long as you are mindful that you must be clear about something. You can't be clear about everything, and that's life's journey for you. But what I'm trying to say in this video, and I hope it does help many people, is that you have to go in with an open mind for best results, open mind with yourself, to monitor your own energy, what feels right, to understand that you can change things. It takes a bit of time sometimes, but consistency is the number one thing. Most people give up on fitness regimes because they do not receive results in week 1, week 2, week 3. All to find that actually once they revert to their normal diet, all the results start showing up a bit later, when they could have had compounding results. It's the same for everything in life, really. Once you've put in the hard work and set it as a habit, it's easier to maintain your weight, for example. Everything follows the same kind of rhythm. So there are some key factors that underlie all success. Psychic readings are just another navigational tool. It's fantastic when you get help from spirit and ancestors, past loved ones, but the motivation must come from within, because when you get that inspiration, you have to act on it if it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, don't do it. It might be not the right timing. Things do change. There might be greater lessons to learn. There might be areas of your life where you didn't quite follow your destiny path, and there'll be a slight correction to be made. All of that doesn't matter as long as you're setting clear intentions for yourself and your motivation forward. So what I would say is psychic reading is a fantastic way to get on that roadmap to inner happiness and peace. Everything else will follow after if you only set an intention and you work at it. So the summary message here is, don't overthink things. Go with the intuition. Intuition is like a habit. You have to build on it. It's very important to build on intuition, because that habit will look after you forever. It's a fantastic way to broaden your horizons, to expect good things out of the world, and generally, if you set your mind to being the best person you can, everything in the universe will follow and get behind you.